Hello, gamers. Welcome to DFFOO Boards, a series where we talk about character boards in the game The City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. And we go over everything the training boards, aka character boards, give a character. And yeah, we all know that character boards make a character better, but how? That's the ultimate question that drives me to do this series, and I know I am not the only one that likes to know this information. But before we go ahead and get started, if you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go over to that notification bell and set it to all. That way you never miss out on a DFFOO Boards episode. Would also like to send a special thanks out to Rem and the Decidia DB because all the information found in this episode comes from their website. And a special thanks to Tokobot for translating and compiling all this information into a nice, easy to read form. So let's go ahead and kick things off with Krile. While buff, she gains 10% attack, 10% at max brave, and she gets 5% more damage if she's hitting that elemental weakness. Her skill 1 gets 15% more brave heals, and that brave heal can overflow up to 15%. Her skill 2, she gets 30% more brave damage to it, 40% if she's hitting elemental weakness, which is a lot of damage, and 30% more overflow. Her EX skill hits for 15% more brave damage, 25% if she's hitting the weakness, and it can overflow up to 30%, which that is just huge for her because with her EX skill, that special icon she gets over it heals your entire party with brave every single action, kind of like trace traps, like it will trigger every single action for 5 turns. So but it's based on how much damage it dealt, so the fact that it can overflow 30% and hit 25% harder, it means your party is going to be gaining more brave than without the boards every turn, and then her brave and HP plus plus do an additional 20% damage. Now she does imperil thunder, so those elemental weaknesses should always be triggering after her first EX move, which if you have her 3 out of 3, I think it just might be 2-3 on her EX realization. She actually starts off the quest with her EX charged up. So great stuff Krile gets from her boards. All right, next up is Lulu, the original Enchant Imperiler. While Master is active, she gains 10% more attack, and the party gains 5% more initial brave. And while she has the Alluring Mage buff up, she gains 10% more max brave. Her skill 1 sees 15% more brave damage and 30% more overflow. Her skill 2 sees the exact same thing. And then with her EX, it gets 15% more brave damage, 30% more overflow, and additional 10% if hidden elemental weakness, for a total of 25% more damage. And lastly, her Brave Plus and HP Plus also see an increase of 20% more damage. So it looks like it's pretty standard for enchanters and impalers to get that weakness damage up. In Lulu's case, it's only on her EX move, which doesn't make very much sense if you ask me. Alright, next up we have our crybaby Porom, and with her light arts buff active, the party sees 5% more attack, and light wisdom, the party sees 5% more max brave. And then with their skill 1, it gains 15% more brave heal, and that healing can overflow by 15% as well. And same thing with their skill 2 with the additional 10% to HP recovery. All right, her EX skill is exactly the same as her skill 2, with the 15% more brave heal, 15% overflow on that brave heal, and 10% more HP recovery. And then her brave and HP plus pluses get 20% more brave damage onto them. Now her boards will give her 20% more defense down from her skill 1 debuff for a total of 80% defense down, which is huge. That's like a ridiculous amount of defense down there. Um, all in all, Porom doesn't get that much more, just more brave heals, more brave heal overflow, and a little bit more HP recovery. That defense down debuff from her skill 1, adding 20% for a total of 80. That is just insane. Enough to get her boards? That's up to you. All right, here we have the Zidane loving summoner. Eiko, while buffed, she gains 10% more attack, 5% attack to the party, and 5% to party max brave. Her skill 1 gains 10% more bravery. That bravery can overflow by 10% and 5% more HP recovery. Now her skill 1 is her region, so that's 5% more healing on an HP region, which is whoa. Her skill 2 gives her 20% more brave damage, 20% more stolen overflow, 5% more brave gain, and that brave gain can overflow by 5%. And if she's hitting the weakness, which is holy, it will do an additional 10% more brave damage, and of course might refunds brave to the party based on the amount of damage done. So yeah, that's huge for her as well. And then with her EX ability, she gets 10% more brave damage, 10% more stolen overflow, 5% more bravery gain, 5% more overflow, and again 10% more weakness bravery damage for a total of 20% more damage. You know, a little less than the skill 2, but I mean, that hits once, and that applies to both her EX skill and her changed HP plus double holy. And then the standard 20% more damage from her Brave plus plus and a HP plus plus. So, like, the fact that a character can have their regions increase will make these region characters like Eiko and Leo that much stronger. But we're moving on to the character that's getting a rework on these banners, which is Alisaie. And while buffed, she gets 10% more attack, 10% more initial brave, and 10% more max brave. And if you've ever used Alisaie before, she should always be buffed. So, I mean, then that's 30% more stats right there. That's just from buffs. So with her skill 1, it does 20% more brave damage. It gains 20% more overflow, and then 10% more brave gain and brave gain overflow. With their skill 2, it does 30% more damage. And has 15% more overflow. Her EX skill is exactly the same as far as brave damage, but when it comes to the overflow, it can overflow up to 30%. And then her brave plus and HP plus, her riposte, and her redoublement all do 20% more damage, which you shouldn't ever be using her HP plus. It should almost always be at least riposte or the redoublement. If you're using her, and I'm pretty sure Jin Lee will do a how to play on Alisaie, if he hasn't already with this rework. This is just something I'm super excited for. I loved Alisaie, but she hasn't been very viable here lately, so I'm very excited to use her once again. All right, last but not least, our brand new burst character, the rhyming mage Shantotto. While buffed, she gets 10% more max brave. While enraged, she gets 10% more brave damage. And while matchless magic is buff is up, she also gets 10% more overflow. With her skill 1 and skill 2, it's 20% more brave damage to 30 if a cursed gaze is inflicted, and both of these skills do apply a cursed gaze. So it should always be up, meaning she should always be doing 30% more damage with 20% more overflow with her skill 1 and skill 2. All right, with her EX ability, it sees 10% more brave damage, 20% if a cursed gaze is afflicted on the target, and 10% more overflow. Her Brave Plus and Brave Plus Plus do 20% more brave damage. Her HP Plus does 20% more brave gain, and her HP Plus Plus does 10% more brave gain on top of 10% more damage. And then her debuffs, her poison from her skill 2 gets an additional 10% effect added to it, and a curse gaze adds an additional 20% down for a total of 50% more poison, 40% more defensive down, and 50% max brave up, which is, she's gonna be a beast. I don't know what her LD is gonna give her. I don't know what her burst is gonna give her, but I am gonna be excited. I'm definitely gonna go for LD. It's interesting that her EX skill does less damage, or gets less damage potencies than her regular skills, but once it's fully realized in 3 out of 3, it is an AoE attack, so it does make sense in that, right? Out of all of these characters, I'm definitely boarding Toto if I get her LD. I might do Alisaie as well. And I do like using Krile from time to time, so I might board her as well. But like, all of these characters are amazing. Like Eiko with the Brave region, like 5% more healing from a region. Like that's a possibility when it comes to these boards. Like, oh my goodness! If you like using Eiko, which I'm hoping to pull her EX from this. If you like Eiko, yeah, then definitely get her boards. They are worth it, you know. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this episode of DFFOO Boards. I hope you did enjoy, and I hope you're leaving here more informed. And I'll see you later, gamers.